Welcome to Mommy Mia Media, a podcast by moms for moms.
Hey guys, welcome back to Mommy Mia Media. As always, if you haven't done so already, please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe. This week, we're talking about some of her firsts. So I think we kind of touched upon it last week that she's 3 months and everything, but the growth is real right now with her. And so the other day when I was working, she wanted to play on her belly, and I try to give her as much, because yes, she'll go to sleep and I'll put her in her little
right
travel playpen thing that I can just lay her down in while I'm working.
Right.
And then when she gets up, I'll put her on her play mat and let her do belly time, and I'll flip her over and do a little bit of back time and have her play with her toys and stuff. Yeah. So this was the first time that I gave her toys, because I was I guess I could get some of her toys out. So I got out this little, it looks like a little present. It's something that I think my aunt had gotten Natalie. It's one of the few things I saved from when Natalie was a baby. But it looks like a red and green present wrapped up. And when you open it, it says "My First Christmas" on it in white letters. And it's red and green, like a red present with green bow. And you open it up, and inside it has these little baby toys in it. It has a little gingerbread man, a little Santa Claus, a snowman, a candy cane, and they all make different sounds. One's a squeak, one's a jingle, one's a crinkle. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and it's kind of cute,
super stimulating for her.
Yeah. So I mean, really cute. And they're soft toys. So I put that down, and then I gave her. Now that she's 3 months, I had felt, and her gums are getting rigid. So I know. We're going to be
that time.
Yeah, we're going to probably start seeing a different version of our sweet little baby. She's probably going to start getting really cranky, and I've heard a lot of people. Well, everybody's the 4 month regression, sleep regression, but I'm also it might be just because they start teething around then.
Exactly.
Which I'm just I don't know what I'm going to be in for, because it's been a long time. So
yeah,
I'm oh man, that's going to be interesting, but. One of the toys that she has is, it's kind of it looks like a lion's head, and the top ring of the lion's mane, it has little zigzag rubbery kind of thing, so they can chew on it and it stimulates their gums. But as they learn how to bite, it vibrates. And I was sitting there and I was trying to show her it, and I pushed in. She's
oh,
she was making this face, and she was I don't know how I feel about that, but she started kicking her feet try that again. So it was just funny. And then the bottom half has little, have you ever had the baby toothbrushes, and it has the little bristle, it has something that for them to kind of stimulate their gums again, and has a little handle area it has a little handle area so they can try to work on grabbing and stuff, which she's
got a good grip.
Oh yeah, she does.
She was pulling on those toys, and she had my finger earlier.
Because Natalie was why don't you ever wear hoop earrings? I'm because of you. And now that I have this one, and she's becoming alert and aware, that's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about first, and I wanted to mention that she had her first giggle with you today, which I'm just super excited about. We've been waiting for it, and I'm super glad that it happened. I wish I would have gotten on video, but it
was so special.
I know.
It really was too, and then for me to find out that it was her first giggle,
warms your heart.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So you make my mom laugh too, I remember. That's why we're friends.
She's just so chill.
She is.
I don't want to move her because
you can though if you want. I can pause the camera and put her over in her.
No, she's okay.
Okay.
She's fine.
And then speaking of firsts, outside of Amelia, I for the first time have bought myself a brand new dining set. So I'm over here feeling I won
Big
this
girl.
week. So we actually bought it about a week and a half ago, and we had been shopping around for a while, and I think I told you this, but I'm very particular, and I think I talked about this in last week's podcast, where I like things that are pretty basic, and you feel you should be able to find them
but because you're so specific with what you're looking for, it's hard.
And it's not even like, for instance, I wanted to find Allie a headboard. Like, she needs a new bed frame in general, one that's white, and it has like the headboard is a functional like storage, whether it's like a shelf or like ones that have like the sliding doors to kind of put stuff in. So I'm like, that's fine, but it's just been like a challenge to find one, like a white one, because she doesn't want whitewash. She wants a pure white.
Can we just pause for a second and stop the low-key porn that's happening next to me? Because it's really distracting me.
Oh my God, Zeus.
Like, I hear the licking and I can't deal. And then the look on Bella's face right now. I have secondary embarrassment.
You're like, I feel like I'm doing something dirty. That's going to go on the after hours. But what was just occurring is my little white dog was nose deep in my big dog. If you know what I mean. I'm not going to paint a picture for you.
She's still laying there.
I know. That's just how she does. She'll be out on the deck, like sunbathing like that.
Not a lady. My goodness.
She's just like sprawled out. And then she has trouble rolling over. She has to do it a couple times before she gets it right.
She just ran into this.
And then she's like, oh, I was just kidding. Let me put my leg up on the couch while I do it here.
I can't hold this dog.
She's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I knew that was just gonna distract me, so.
It is okay. Hopefully she just goes somewhere. So we were talking about the kitchen table, and it's funny because me and Casey looked back in like November. It was like shortly after Thanksgiving. And ironically, they were like 3 months back ordered. Like, they're like, I think the earliest that they told us that they could get it was like February. I don't know if I want to pay for that right now, especially right before the holidays and everything. I was like, we're just going to hold off, you know? Well, we waited, and sure enough, we went a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago? We went, and we had went to one store. We found something that we were like, it would look okay in the space, but we weren't in love with it. You know what I mean? And Casey was ready just to buy it right there and then.
He was just done shopping.
Yeah, and I was like, I get it, because like, we are both very particular. We want what we want. But I was like, you know what? No. I was like, there's like 2 or 3 other stores. I mean, within driving distance, like in that vicinity. I was like, let's just do this. We didn't find it because we initially were actually going to get Nat's bed. That's why we were talking about that. So I didn't see anything that I liked for Nat's bed, and I wasn't in love with that kitchen table. And I'm like, let's just go and see what else we can find. So we went to the second store. Didn't find anything for Nat, but we found this kitchen table, and we're like, oh my gosh, I really like that. Both of us. Yeah. Which, me and Casey, like, we agree on a lot of things, and we have different styles, but when it comes to certain things, like, for both of us to agree on, we're like, okay, it's a done deal. We got to do this now. Well, he wanted to buy it right then and there, but the salesman was super busy. Like, they only had one sales guy, and I was like, well, you know what? As much as we like this, he'll be here when we get back. Let's go to the third store, see if we find Nat's bed. We went, we looked, we didn't find another table, we didn't find a bed. So we came back, and the sales guy was available then, and he helped us get it ordered. And I will say, like, we went, like, the customer service was amazing at this place.
Awesome. Good.
The gentleman who helped us actually was there delivering an order from the warehouse. He wasn't a salesman.
Oh, wow.
And he just happened to see that the guy was overwhelmed, so he was asking customers if there was anything he could help them with.
Awesome.
And he helped us, like, not only do it, but he, like, helped, like, get the guy set up, so all the guy had to do is basically secure payment and set up delivery.
That's awesome.
And then, in addition to that, because we could have got the floor model, and they were willing to take off a little bit of the cost because of it, but Casey was like, no, because there was a little bit of wear and tear on the bench and stuff like that. So he was like, I'd rather have a new one. And when the bench came in, the packaging was severely damaged, and they were worried that the contents were also damaged.
Oh, yeah.
So they called us, and they're like, we're happy to, like, place another order and get you one that's not, but we don't want to risk it if you're okay with it. and we were going to pick up the bench separate from the table and chairs because they were supposed to be delivering just the table and chairs, and it comes with a bench seating on one side. And we were just going to pick that up separately and build that separately. And they're like, we'll just, if you're cool with it, we'll just order it again. And when it comes in, we'll deliver all of it together and build it so you don't even have to worry about it. So we're like, okay.
Oh, that's really nice customer service.
I'm like, they could have.
And doing, like, above and beyond. Like,
that,
not just doing the bare minimum.
And the quality of it is, like, really what sold it, too. Yeah. Like, a lot of the things that we looked at, like, I just didn't like the quality, or some of them were...
I feel like nothing's built to last anymore.
It's not, and they don't use, like, real wood. You know what I mean? A lot of it is, like this down here, my coffee table. You guys can't see it on camera, but it is, like, probably MDF with, like, a vinyl coating of, like, faux marble look. And, I mean, that's fine. Like, it serves its purpose and everything, but it's not built for longevity. It's not built to last. And to the quality of this, though, it's solid. Like, the table isn't something I can pick up and move. Yeah. Like, or just, like, push.
It's really nice.
It's solid, and the chairs, like, one of the selling factors that we really liked about this table is a lot of the tables that we were looking at had the fabric padded seats.
Yeah. Not good for kids.
For, like, a more formal dining area. And, like you said, not good for kids. So I was like...
Can't just wipe that away.
Right. I was like, we need hard chairs. And, of course, I'm happy to even get, like, those pillow... You know what I mean? The butt cushion. Yeah, for anybody who would like one. But I just don't want something that is a permanent... fixture.
You need something that will last.
Right.
And
even
you're
this.
Gonna have a toddler.
Well, even this couch, like, we bought this a couple years now.
It's been more than a couple.
It's been a couple years. I mean, we had it prior to us moving in here.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 3 years, going on 3 years.
And you had it before you were married, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like
more than a couple.
At least 5 years, I would say, because...
I was going to say, I remember when you got this couch.
Yep. I mean, it's a nice couch. There's a few caveats about it that we really liked. One, it is, you can easily wipe it.
Yeah.
Which is something that we liked. Two, it seats a lot of people, but I would like something a little bit more cozy and comfy. Like, this has served its purpose, but I think that when we get the downstairs done, this will go into Casey's man cave.
Yeah, that's a good use. I like it.
I do too. But what else was I going to talk about? Oh, we talked about the table, but yeah, I felt like that I was winning as an adult with that purchase, because, like, it's the first time, you know, like, the first time you bought, like, a car.
It's real grown-up furniture.
It's real grown-up furniture, and it was like, it's that first time that you buy a couch that's not like, hey, I picked it up on the side of the road, or...
Look at the deal I got.
Yeah, it was like, hey, I went out and I shopped around and I got me a piece of furniture.
This is what I specifically looked for.
Yes. So it was like a feeling of, like, accomplishment and satisfaction. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I applaud myself. I'm happy that we got our new couch.
The new table.
That's what I meant. The new table.
I was like, wait. Did I hear that wrong?
I'm putting it out there, and we're getting a new couch.
It's in the universe.
Oh, another thing that we'll probably have to get new. So, like, this past weekend, we were cleaning, and Natalie decided to do the staircase, like, vacuum it, because it's one of those things, like, the chore that everybody hates to do, but it needs done. Like, I get it. I hate vacuuming the stairs. It sucks. But it needs done.
Yeah.
And we were having company over, so she was like, okay, well, we typically use, like, deodorizer sometimes on the stairs, because, of course, it still is, like, the one area that has the old carpet from the, you know, the previous homeowners. It's, like, the one area we haven't replaced yet.
And it's a high traffic area.
And it is. And with the dogs, like, they get gross and everything. So she was, like, vacuuming, but she put down, like, some baby powder to deodorize it, not realizing that it's not good for the vacuum.
Oh no.
But she tried to vacuum it up, vacuum up everything, and it stopped working. And I was like, she of course starts bawling her eyes out, and I'm like,
aww,
it's fine, it's not a big deal. We've had the vacuum since before I think me and Casey got together, so over 7 years. It's been really good.
Is it something that you could use a compressor and just blow out the vacuum?
I don't know. I think honestly, Casey said it's hair logged, which that is a whole different story. Nobody wants to talk about an animal's worth of hair. I don't know how you want to phrase that, but I know in our household, if I vacuum, even the little bit of carpet that we have, I could probably make a small animal with it.
I was surprised with getting the golden retrievers, because I thought that I would be having those, the
hair
that just roll across your floor, and I haven't had a lot of
tumbleweed of hair.
Yes, I mean, thankfully I haven't had that, but I was waiting for it, and I was like, wait, I don't have that.
Well, you might see it when. No, I don't know.
Their coats have come in.
They're a little bit longer though, haired.
Yeah.
And I know with Zeus as a Maltese, his hair is a little bit longer and he doesn't shed as much. If anything, if I don't get him groomed, which he is in desperate need of getting groomed, I am an awful dog mom. That's another thing that I actually want to talk about. I feel so guilty
being
because
an awful dog mom. You're not an awful dog mom.
I feel super negligent. If you were
an awful dog mom, we could not be friends.
I feel like a negligent dog mom. First and foremost, we have Casey forgot to feed them last night, which that's on Casey, but I've done that in the past as well.
Well, and it's not like it goes on though. These dogs don't let you forget very, very long.
Oh no, Bella does yell at you. She's like, I'm starving, in case you haven't realized. She is not. If you have seen Bella, she's fed very well.
She's hefty.
She's hefty, girl. She's chunky. But I also just feel like I haven't given her or Zeus as much love, because with Zeus, if you look at him, I haven't gotten him groomed probably since before Amelia came.
Yeah, but you have a new baby.
I know, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he needs a haircut so bad, because if not, he's going to get really matted. And of course, because he's a butthead, he likes to hike all over the place to do territory. That's why you see him in a diaper. It's not because we don't take care of him, but he'll go out and pee to his heart's content, and then he'll come in and he'll hike right on the curtains as he walks in while staring at you, because he's just like that. And both my dogs have personalities. You get this because you've had many dogs that have their personalities. Bella, for instance, gets very upset when Nat goes to her dad's or goes away for a long period of time, because she doesn't mind laying with Nat, but she prefers to lay with me and Casey, and we don't necessarily let her because she's just so loud, and I'm fearful that she'll wake up the baby, which luckily she is a pretty good sleeper, but even being so, Bella's just a bull in a china shop sometimes. And because we haven't let her sleep with us, there's been a few times where she'll intentionally go down and pee and leave it for you, because she's I'm mad at you, and people are she doesn't do that, you probably didn't. And I'm like, no, we will let her out at 2 a.m. and get up at 8 o'clock, which she's far
an
longer.
attitude issue.
It is.
So Marley, the freaking best dog in the world, never had an accident in the house until we would come back from vacation. Anytime we left her for a long period, we went on vacation, she would literally do it right in front of us and just stare at us I'm so glad you're home. Screw you both. She did.
I miss Marley. She was the best.
Even during those moments, she still was the best.
Bella is just she's loving, but she is very petty.
Well, my dogs right now are driving me crazy because the kids are gone this week. So I'm the one, and they're still puppies, so I have to entertain them almost.
It's almost like you have newborns and you decide to get 2.
Yes. Like, when they crash well and they sleep well, but they have a lot of energy. So we spend a lot of time outside to get their energy out. And I'm just like, man, I don't realize how much my kids actually play with the dogs until I'm like trying to sit on the deck and drink my coffee and the dogs are like, no, play with me. Like, we're used to going down in the grass with you. Like, no.
You're like, just go run on the several acres that we live on.
Oh.
Like,
yeah. Oh, they're being so ornery, but the kids have had fun. They're in Chattanooga this week. So they've been spending a lot of fun time doing adventures. I have videos of them swinging from ropes, jumping out of trees and into the river. They went on the rapids yesterday, so that was fun for them.
So, serious question, and I'm sorry if I'm like interrupting.
No, you're...
As a mom, how much anxiety are you going through hearing that your kids are doing all this stuff?
So, a lot. However, I remember being a kid, and I remember my mom allowing me to do the same things, and how much of a memory it made, and how much fun I had doing it. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to tell my kids no and have them miss out on that, because I felt like it molded me into who I am today, like, because I still kind of like adrenaline, and I'm not afraid to do or try new things. And so I want them to have that, but also they're not with strangers. They are with my brother-in-law and my, his girlfriend, who she's basically my sister-in-law, like, and they are both river guides on top of her being she's going back to school to be a nurse practitioner. So they're very capable adults. I don't worry about them, because if something did happen, they're trained to take care of them in a professional manner, but also, like, that's their nephews and they love them, so they have an even more of an attachment to, like, keep them safe. So
no, and I was just like wondering, because I know like that can be very nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking enough when your kids are out of state. I mean, depending on how they're getting there, especially because
they went with grandma and grandpa, and so we're very we don't have to worry that
That's what it is about.
I still worry though.
I was gonna say you still worry, because I mean, like, my thing is I don't like heights and all that stuff, and I don't necessarily enjoy flying, but it's a necessary evil for me, because, like, especially when we go to Florida and stuff like that. I mean, we're driving this year because of the baby and everything, but I mean, a 2-hour flight as opposed to like a 14-hour drive, depending on where you're going.
Right.
Definitely makes a difference. But on the flip side, driving is just as is actually more dangerous than flying, because
I feel
more
like
people on the road.
I'm terrified of flying, but then I used to have to do it all the time. Like, I grew up traveling, but then also I traveled for work consistently. And so it's like I had to get used to it, but I still, even thinking about flying scares me. So if I were like to say like, oh, I have to send my kid on a flight without me, like, there's no way I would do that. At least they were like with grandma and grandpa, like driving. And so I'm like, okay, they're good drivers.
It's not even
they
them,
love
though.
their
it's other people.
I know,
and that's where I feel guilty. But like, I was just wondering, because you have the guilt, or not even the guilt, the worry and anxiety of them getting safely to their destination, but also being safe while they're there and not getting hurt or harmed or anything like that. So.
It is, but I think of it too as like we were saying, like, we have those memories of like being at our grandparents, and so this is their version of that. Like, this is like something that they have made a tradition, is going with their grandparents to visit their uncle. And so it's like, I want to have them, that's something that they'll remember after we're all long gone. So I want them to make those memories and have those memories. And they don't get to see their, uncle a ton too. So it's getting that bond with them.
And that's a good thing too, because I mean, like, my uncle, he and my aunt live out in like Maryland, for instance, and I love seeing them, but we just don't get to make our way out there. And we have been trying to make an effort to see family that are outside of the state because like
Right.
Casey's brother lives in Tennessee, his sister lives in Alabama. Actually, here in a few weeks, we're going to be going down, not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend, we're going down to visit.
That'd be
And I'm
fun.
excited because I've never been to Alabama.
Heck yeah.
But I think that'll be a blast just to kind of go and not only see them because
Yeah.
like you don't get to and it really is the older you get, the more I think you realize how quickly time is. But I was watching a show the other day, actually it was Suits. You were talking
yeah.
about how Ian has been watching that, and so has Casey. I don't know if anybody out there who's watching, if you haven't watched Suits, it's a pretty good show. On I think it's on Netflix. I don't know where it previously aired, but
Probably Netflix.
Casey was watching it, and when the characters was talking about the older I get, the more I realize I would rather have friends in my ball court than enemies in my corner. And I was like, I completely understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It's a little different these days.
I'd rather be forming relationships at this age.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, you form relationships and you have those friends that you've known forever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, we all have that childhood friend
Yeah.
that we're still to this day friends with. And it's not even that we're like, we don't love them the same as our friends that we've gained like over the course of time.
Right.
But there's some people that you're like, I'm friends with them because I have to be, because they know too much.
Yeah.
But then, like, formulating new friends as you're older, I feel like it's difficult. And I speak for myself.
It
but
is. And you're because what do we do as adults? You know what I mean? Like, it's, where are you meeting other than work?
I mean, and we
Or-
don't technically, I mean, I
Every
did
one
go
of
to the
my
bar
new
last night.
relationships that I've had has been work related.
I was about to say, I find friends at work. I mean, I still have, of course, friends from high school.
Right.
I have, like,
I just mean, like,
maybe
new
one or
friends,
two.
though. Like, where do you, as an adult, where do you meet your friends? The grocery store?
no. Well, and that's the thing.
I don't talk to anybody at the grocery store.
I mean, we did go out last night, and, like, I typically find new friends through other people that I'm friends with.
Yeah.
Like, so...
That networking type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
actually, like, for instance, I met some new people through my soon-to-be sister-in-law at her bachelorette party, and I think
Yes.
that's really cool. But at the same time, I like to meet people at, like, the bar and stuff like that, but I don't get to go very often
Right.
because we don't make an
Right.
effort to, and I don't... I feel guilty.
Yeah.
Like, when
and I have
do.
to be in the mood. Like,
I am too.
you know what I mean? You have to have that vibe going, like, okay, tonight, I think I can handle a bar tonight. But when I say I think I can handle it, like, then that's the problem. Is I'm
So-
like, let me get every person in this bar drunk. We are having the time of our life tonight.
Well, and it's funny that you say that. So, like, I have to be in the mood, but I'm also, like, I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't like the bars where it's, like, I'm the oldest person there
Yeah.
because it's, like, a
Mhm.
dance party, and I don't know. Like, it was funny because, like, we went
Yeah.
out last night for a bachelorette party, and we went to, like, a burlesque show. Lots of
love that.
fun if you've never been to something like that. Like, I've been to drag shows. Those are a lot of fun. This is, like, a
Yeah.
different animal. It's not...
I think I took you to your first drag show, didn't I? Was that your first? No, it wasn't your
No,
first.
no. Are you talking about my bachelorette?
Yeah.
No. Going back to what I was talking about, the burlesque show is something that I did not think that I'd enjoy. I'd never been, and it was basically like a show, but you would have like drinks and stuff like that. So we got like a little like set of tables for the group,
Mm-hmm.
and we had like bottle service, and we had some shots and stuff like that, and then they had like a stage that was around us, and
How
like that's where the
fun.
performers
Yeah.
were, and it was a lot of fun. But it was also like a dance club like party after the burlesque show was
Oh.
over, and it was so like, I mean, when I
You
say it was
danced?
loud, we danced a little bit, but like the area for like the bottle service was kind of small. Like literally,
yeah.
like when
was
Pop
gonna
Lock and
say-
Drop It came on, my butt was on the table. Like, I'm sorry.
If you didn't wake up sore today, then you didn't dance enough.
I didn't dance enough then, and I didn't get very drunk either. Like, I drank a decent amount, and I don't get drunk typically. Like,
right.
But I had a few
You don't want to
drinks.
be out of control.
Right. Well, and you can't have more fun than the Bachelorette on her
exactly.
Bachelorette weekend. Like, that's a no-no. That's a party foul. But we went out, and I don't think that they made the drinks very strong. But we had a blast, though. I definitely would do it again. But it was also, like, one of those things, sardine, and I don't like that. Yeah. I'm more of a, like, I like a hole-in-the-wall bar that, like...
Need some space.
Yeah, even it's just not, like, hip. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not hip. I don't want it to be hip.
I want trendy.
Exactly. Like, I don't want trendy. But last night, like, this one, it was almost like a... What do they call them?
Speakeasy?
A speakeasy, thank you. So when you walked in, they had, like, a bar restaurant area, and then they had, like, the podium, and you told them that you were there for the burlesque show, and they would tell you to walk through, and you'd walk through this, like, kitchen area.
That's cool.
And the door that you opened looked like a freezer, and it led to some stairs, and you would, like, go up, like, 2 flights of stairs, and you get into, like, this area that there was, like, a stage behind the bar, and then,
that's neat.
You had your dance area.
Setting the atmosphere, like, as you walk in.
It was so much fun, though. I definitely would go again.
It sounds fun.
But, so, you know, you were talking about your kids being in Chattanooga. Is this their first... It's not their first time away from
you,
right?
This is something that they've done for the last few years now.
So. Okay. I was just, like, going to say, like, one of the videos that I actually made this week on our TikTok account.
Yeah, I saw that.
It got me in my feels so bad. So,
it did.
One thing I've been struggling with this week, and I'm going to get real with you guys, is... And I'm sorry if I start crying. Like, but I am going to get real. Is that when I made this video, it was talking about how your last child, like your youngest child's first, are your last as a mom. And I watched that video of somebody else's child, mind you, and it got me thinking, and that's why I made the video. But, like, it caught me in my feels really quickly because we talked about how big she's already gotten, but also, like, you know, she just had her first giggle. She swam in the pool for the first time when we were at your house. And there's going to still continue to be lots of firsts, but I'm also not sure if I'm ready for it to be my last.
I know. Did you ever take your test?
I did. It wasn't, which I'm, like, kind of relieved.
Yeah.
Because, like, we're not ready, but I just
put it in God's hands, you know?
You know, I think that's the thing, because it's, like...
That's all you can do.
Part of me wants to have another, but then I feel...
Even
like, can we manage? Like, it's not even, like, can we keep up? It's just, like, from a financial aspect, it's a heavy burden to raise kids. Especially if, like, you're doing childcare and everything. And then it's also, like, can I, as a person, handle it again? Because I'm not going to lie. Like, you saw how bad this pregnancy was with her, from swelling to morning sickness to everything in between. And I'm like, can I not only physically but mentally deal with it? Because with that comes with the anxieties and everything. I think for those who have kind of stuck with us through the early on episodes, I talked about that a lot. And I mean, my anxiety has calmed down with proper medication and working through that. And I'm working through, I mean, it's always an ongoing process of making sure that you're
I think
good.
You would get through it. I think you're always going to get through what you need to get through. But I also feel like if it is, like, if you are experiencing the loss, like, it's good to be aware of that somewhere in your mind too, because then you're even more appreciative of those moments. But you have a lot more of that coming though, because you have not only are these the first giggles and stuff, but then you're gonna have crawling, but then you're gonna have kindergarten, and then you're gonna have.
I think that's the thing though, is it's like
things, and then one day you're gonna be sitting there at her wedding, and you're gonna be like, you're gonna have all these memories, and that's gonna be so valuable to you that.
I just don't know if I'm ready for this to be my last baby. Like.
Well,
and part of me still wants to try for a boy, but I'm like, I just have a gut feeling I will try again, and it'll be a girl. I don't mind girls. Don't get me wrong. That's not the point. It's just we'd really want a boy.
Yeah.
But we'd be happy, like, just
Right.
with, like, it's the cliche statement of we'd be happy with a healthy baby, but at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would want to try if I knew for a fact it would be a boy. I don't necessarily want to try and have a girl. But we'll see. It's still up in the air because it's just one of those things that...
no. See, me, I know I'm totally done.
And that...
And it's a good spot for me to be at because I remember being where you were and it, like, remembering, like, this is the last time. And I still get that way. Like, Lawson's getting to the point where, like, he still cuddles with me, but he's getting older now. And so he kind of does things on his own now more often or not. And I'm like, that was my baby. Like, I had to deal with that with Gabe and I have to deal with that with Lawson, but I don't have anybody else coming up for that, you know? There's nobody else coming out of the dugout. So it's something I always have to kind of think about, but...
And I get that. And, like, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I thought I was content with just that for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was all, like...
Then your heart
I'm not gonna
exploded
lie.
with love again.
Well, it's weird because, like, let's just backtrack. So before I found out I was pregnant with Nat, I had already settled with the fact that we weren't going to have another one.
Right.
And I was okay with that. I was like, you know what? Both me and Casey will have, like, an empty nest at, like, 40 or something and still can enjoy our lives at a younger age. And I was like, that's awesome. We'll enjoy one another. And then we found out we were pregnant with her. And, like, it was the anxiety of, oh, my gosh, can I love this baby as much as I love my kid? Da, 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 da. And, yes, you're right. Your heart, it just explodes. I was actually talking to a coworker about this the other day because they're like, I just can't wait to experience that indescribable feeling because he's coming at it from a man's perspective. Because every man is like, you know, they're like, how do you feel? And it's like, it's so indescribable to look at your wife and the mother of your child and your child. There's just an essence about that, like, that you just can't describe. And he's like, I can't wait to experience that, like, to see what it's all about. You know what I mean? And I'm like, there really aren't words because... I will tell you, like, the moment that I saw her, first and foremost, it wasn't the magical moment that you think of, because I think I was in shock, because for those who don't know, but my birthing story with her, it was a whirlwind. It was very quick. But they had told me that I wasn't having my epidural because everything had went so quickly that I was still processing the fact that I didn't get my epidural when they gave her to me. And they're like, this is your baby. And they're like, aren't you going to look at her? And I'm like...
I had her? Yeah, I did that.
How did this happen?
Whoa.
I'm still thinking, like, not even 5 minutes ago when you said I wasn't having my epidural and this baby is now here. Like, how did this happen?
It's funny how quickly your mind shifts, though.
It shifted very quickly, and I'm very fortunate that it went very quickly because I had to do a natural birth. Had it not been for that, I would not have survived. But, what else? Oh, last thing I wanted to mention, for those of you who have noticed, I am still in my PJs, but I did do a haul. So Casey encouraged me because we're going to be we're doing back to school shopping for Nat here in probably this week, actually. I'm going to probably have to take her, get her, the rest of her back to school stuff going.
A couple of weeks away.
It's crazy, but, like, she even agreed because last year I told her, I was like, you don't want to wait till the last minute. And sure enough, we did, and it was severely picked over. But I'm going to take her, get the rest of her school supplies, and also I have to do the clothing. And I think we talked about that last week. But Casey was like, I also haven't shopped for myself in a long time because I just haven't. And I told myself that I was going to buy myself some stuff. So I went on Shein because I just like to check out their stuff, and I go down a rabbit hole, especially when it's late at night. Sometimes I just build a cart that I just, like, never purchase. Have you ever done that?
I do that all the time.
My Amazon Save for Later is ridiculous, especially because it's, like, mine and Casey's account, so...
That's how ours is as well. It's really bad. And actually, I just canceled Prime because, okay, we don't use any Apple products, number one, so it's like... I don't have Apple TV or anything. We just use Netflix. That's it. I don't use, like, my Prime Video or anything like that. So, really, The only thing I was using my Prime for was like next day delivery and stuff like that when we lived here. But now we don't even get offered like a quick delivery. It's always like a week out.
Yeah, because of where you live.
It's seriously pointless for me to pay that money right now when no matter what, it's going to take a couple of weeks. And we haven't really been purchasing a ton. So I'm like, I can cancel it. It's just a waste at this point. But it used to be really bad because I used to buy every night on Amazon and have my hauls. And
so my problem has been Shein is one of those sites that like Natalie's gotten a few things off of. Yeah. I've gotten a few things off of. I actually like we have a video that we just never posted of Mommy Mia. Yeah. Where we got like some shirts. Yeah. I'll have to post that, but I think I still have the footage from that. But we had gotten you probably have seen us in our mom shirts, but I went through and I had built a cart and I was like, I want to get this. And I was like, no, I'm not. In case it's like, yes, you are. You need to get yourself some stuff. So I will be posting a video of the haul that I got, but I treated myself to some clothes, and this is one of the pieces. It says coffee is my love language.
I love it.
And it's just like a pajama set, which I really needed like some comfy PJs because who doesn't need them?
Yeah.
And I like these a lot.
Heck yeah.
They're cute and comfy, but I'll have to show everybody that because it is important to make sure that you have things that you need as well, yes. Mama. But
and it had been so long. It's nice to sometimes just
it is, and I also feel so guilty though because like I got my haul, and you'll see like if you want to check out the video on YouTube of me, I'll post it later. I still have to edit it, but actually by the time this is posted, it'll probably be out. But you'll have to check out like the things that I got, and then I'll also be doing a Temu haul here shortly. I'm just waiting for the remaining items to get here, which should be like probably by next week. I'm going to do a Temu haul because I went through their website too. And
Temu's dangerous.
It is.
For me right now anyway.
Are you talking like because price and quality, or are you talking because of like it's dangerous thing?
No, I think because of like price, because I'm always like, oh, so cheap, and I add to my cart, and then I do that like 75 times.
Okay, that's what I did this last time. I think my cart was like 75 items, no joke. But I also get things not just for myself. So I got her like I did a Temu haul, and I don't know if I posted it or not. I don't know. I feel weird posting like reviews and stuff, but this past time I was like,
might as well. I think we're all interested right now in like knowing other people's experience about Temu, because that's what I'm doing is like I'm watching other people right now.
Okay.
Because I've only bought a couple of things, but the things that I purchased I actually really like. Like
it's
I
hit or
almost
miss.
Walked out of my house today in my cow slippers, and Ian was like, those the shoes you wearing? And I'm like, oh.
I wouldn't have judged your ass. Like,
well,
whatever.
When I leave here I have to go to the pharmacy. And so I was like, I probably should wear real shoes to go in there. Maybe.
I mean, so with Temu though, it is dangerous, but I bought like, I don't know. Previously I bought her 2, maybe 3 little outfits, and I was actually really impressed with the quality of the baby clothes that I did get. Like, I only got like 2 or 3 outfits, but they were really cute. Quality was pretty good. Yeah. It still can be hit or miss depending on what you're buying though. Like I got like some kind of like little beauty thing that's like battery operated. It's like one of those facial roller things, and it was kind of cheap. It was like
gotcha
flimsy. You know what I mean? It was just like I was like, you live, you learn.
Yeah.
I'll be doing a haul about that, but I did get this like little PJ set. Definitely recommend it for those who are looking for a comfy PJ set. It's kind of thin, and it says coffee is my love language. That was cute. The shirt is really soft too. I don't know if you like felt it.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I like that like almost like soft cottony feeling.
Stretchy almost.
Yeah, it's like comfy. I will say that I got this a size larger. Like I typically get
size up.
Well, I typically get my size, but I got this one a little bit larger just because I like my night clothes to be a little bit more baggy. And full transparency, this I think is supposed to be more of a crop top, but because I got a size larger, it's more of a t-shirt, which...
Hey, that works for me.
So, think that just like it says coffee is my love language in a relationship, you have to find what that person's love language is.
Right.
Like,
Ian letting me sleep in every day and then bringing me coffee. That's something in my love language.
Okay, and that's the thing. Like, that's like considered like an act of service.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That would probably fall into that category. And for those of you who don't know your own love language, I definitely recommend that you go out. There's typically 5 love languages that is discussed, and sometimes you can be a mix of those 5.
Yeah.
I found personally
that I have some.
I pretty much am in one category or another. So like for me, yes, I like gifts just as much as the next person, but I also don't feel like you have to spend money to...
Right. A gift is not always something that is monetary, you know.
A gift for me could be like almost an act of service, if that makes sense. Because like for me, coming home and you did the dishes or made dinner, that is a perk in my book. Like, okay, so we were talking about love languages, and what I was getting at was that everybody has a different love language. Mine can be a blend. Like for me, gifts can be the gift of just performing an act of like service, doing the dishes or making dinner, or yes, getting something, but you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get me a gift for me to appreciate it. I mean, it could be something as simple as my favorite candy.
Right.
Or watching a show with me, or, I mean, like you just saw it a minute ago. Casey came out here. The baby was getting fussy. It was time to feed her and change her diaper. And instead of like one person doing it, it's like, here, I'll do this, you do that. Let's both kind of tag team it and get it done. And he's watching her so we can get this piece of the podcast done. But I think that's what it's all about is that give and take and learning each other's love language.
Yeah, learning how to really be a partner too.
Right, and identifying too, like, what is your partner's love language as well? Because, I mean...
Like, it's not just about me, and that's where...
Absolutely.
I think as I continue, I was talking about getting older and growing and everything, like, I think that's where it's, like, especially in the recent years, like, it's not just about me. Like, I have to make sure that, like, what is that stupid, like, his love tank is full too, like, have you ever heard that? My love tank is empty. Like, I think it was from like the Real Housewives or some
I have no idea. That's not my jam, so I would not know.
Honestly, not mine either, but it just always, it resonated with me though, because I'm a very ADD person, and so I visualize things, and so when they said love tank, I was like, oh, like
a gas
I need
tank.
to be like filling, he likes touch and affection, so like I do not. So going out of my way to just be like walk by him and put my hand on him, you know what I mean? Like that to him is how he feels loved and how I show the love to him.
And
so
sometimes
like,
you don't.
I have to go out of my way to do that because it's not my love language. Mine is like, oh, I came home and you did my chores, or.
It means so much as a mom when you take things off of our plate. It really does.
Yes.
And I say that with a great of salt because, I mean, there is a story of me trying to help my mom. I thought I was doing a great job and made her cookies one time, and this was when I was a kid, and I did not know how to read how many cups. So it probably said like 2.5 cups, and I thought it was like 21.5. And let's just say that I made brick cookies and a messy kitchen, but it was all with love, Mom. All with love. But yes, I mean, that is just, I think that's the point, though. Everybody has their love language, and sometimes we even can misinterpret, or I'm a gift giver. I love giving. If I find something and it reminds me of you, I will probably buy it and get it for you. And with Casey, like, I'll just get things because I'm like...
Yeah. This reminded me.
Yeah, it reminded me of you. And
maybe
like...
thank you.
I mean, he's not necessarily like, I don't think that gift giving is necessarily his love language, but I enjoy doing it, so I do it for him. Yeah. But for Father's Day, shout out, and I think I might have talked about this previously, Shutterfly, shout out to them. I uploaded some pictures and made him a blanket, and it has pictures of like me, Nat, and the baby on it. And that was like one of the first times that it like was I've ever seen him like get choked up about a gift that came from me, I should say, like, because his mom is an excellent gift giver, like puts a lot of thought into it, finds really creative, nifty, like almost like one of a kind things.
That's
like
awesome. I try to be that way, like especially when I'm on a budget, because I just want, like, when I have an abundance of something, I want to make sure others have it as well. And so when I'm on a budget, I'm like, okay, well, I can't show my love that way. Let me find something really, like one thing really special or a couple of little things, but that speak to something about that person. And so that's where I think that I am a gift giver in that sense, but I don't like accepting gifts.
Well, don't hate me. So with my Temu order, one of the things that I did do is there was a few tops that I came across that I was like, oh my gosh, you'll have to have this. Like, one is and you'll see it so when we get it, but there's a like mustard yellow sweater, and it has 2 ears of corn, and it says crop top.
Kind of crop tops.
Mine too. So I did buy 2 of those. That should be here
That's awesome.
Next weekend. So just FYI, you'll probably be here when I do the unboxing for Temu, because there's a few tops that are yours. So
heck yeah. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, with that being said, I do love to gift give.
Yes.
You're
good at it too.
I'm not.
You are.
I try. I know what you're referring to. Lindsay's actually famous outside of the podcast on Petsy's. For Christmas this past year, she lost her beloved Marley. And I searched high and low for something for her to remember Marley by. And one of the things that kept coming up was the make your own pet kind of thing, where you provide them with a picture of your pet and they handcraft a stuffed animal that is a replica of your pet. Yeah. And I will say that it was a process. It was a long process, but it was because I ordered it right on Black Friday, and of course a lot of people I think probably did it. So it took a little bit longer, and I let her know it was going to be after. It was not going to be, like, they were very transparent, like, we are overwhelmed, it's not going to be there. But they put a lot of love and a lot of...
Well, and that made it even more special, because then it wasn't in the hustle and bustle. Right. And so, like, it was like, we had a moment to kind of sit and...
Well, and...
You made me cry, and I don't cry. Like,
okay, but the thing is that I wanted to get something that was a memorabilia, like, piece for you that was above and beyond, because initially I looked at getting, like, a little Christmas bulb that you could put her picture on, and I'm like, I don't want you to only be able to remember it when you pull it out once a year. I wanted it to be something that you could have and have it physically there for you, and I thought that was the perfect thing. Now, they are pricey, but... It's worth it for the...
You don't even understand, though, because you got it for me, yes, and it was, like, part of my healing process to receive that, but it was also a part of my kids' healing process, and I didn't realize that until I showed them, like, her replica, and they both lost it, like, separately, and so it was just, like, it made such... an impact on so many people. And so
Marley was there from, like, day one for the boys. Like, that was Lindsay's first baby, like, and I mean, hell, I knew Marley longer than I've known like some people. Like, but
She also went everywhere with me. Like
she did, and she had a personality.
Dog that just stayed home. She was my little ride or die. So she was in the passenger seat anywhere I went.
But with that, so we bought. I got her this replica, and I had recorded her reaction, and Petsy forever will. They use it for marketing now, which I gave them permission to do so. After asking Lindsay, I didn't just like put it out there for her to find on her own.
No.
But yeah, it's
a great gift.
Like, I like gift giving, but at the same time, again, it just kind of brings me back to know what your partner likes.
Yeah.
Or your friends or whatever.
Show your love.
So yeah, I think that kind of covers everything that I wanted to talk about. We kind of hopped a little bit of everywhere. First to
typical.
I mean, our kids first, and first as being an adult, as far as buying a table and chair, and then love language. I don't know. It's always a fun roller coaster of stuff and things when you come to Mommy Media. I know that we've mentioned this in the past, but I would love for you guys to comment below what you would like to hear from us. Would you like to hear parenting tips? Would you like to hear specific stories? Is there something you want to talk about? So next time, guys, thanks again for tuning in. We look forward to speaking with you next week. It's going to be interesting. It'll probably be a midweek show recording only because next weekend is going to be very busy. We have a wedding to attend, and then
in a couple of weeks school's gonna start.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready.
At least we'll have content.
Yep.
Can only imagine the world.
We're gonna have to do like a picture of like, you know, the traditional first day of school, and then like we'll have to do the mom's first day back to school, and we're sitting there with our PJs on, with our sunglasses, messy bun, our freaking wine as they're pulling away on the bus stop. Like,
I feel like I need a bottle and a cigarette.
What bottle? Lindsay's gonna be out there at 7:30 a.m. with her freaking Jack Daniels bottle and her freaking cigarette. Like. Your mom.
I won't actually. I mean, I might have a couple of drinks, but I won't actually do that. I will have to like be productive.
You're like, I'll only have like 5 mimosas. It's fine.
No, but real life, I will have like 8 coffees, and I probably won't eat until dinner time, where I'll overeat because I've been so busy all day. That's typically what happens when the kids are gone.
That's true. I mean, I typically have 2 cups.
My whole schedule.
I try not to, but 2 cups of coffee is like my max. I typically at least have 1. And then breakfast, it just depends. Like,
I used to be a really bad coffee addict, and I'm starting to get back to my ways.
It's already 4 o'clock right now, and I'm starving. So I'm like,
yeah.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week. Bye.